Society is constantly changing and adapting to new technologies that'll benefit the average person's daily life. Every year, we're getting new phones, new laptops, new computers, new cars, and other products. In an era where new ideas are constantly being thought up, why is it that a system that has been in place for almost a century has remained largely unchanged? In 1940, the 40-hour work week was introduced, and since then, it's seen very little change besides some changes that were implemented during the pandemic. Today, I'm going to persuade you on why the 40-hour work week is outdated and why it's time for it to be changed. I'll be going over the benefits of a shortened work week, examples of a shortened work week being implemented, as well as how feasible a shortened work week actually is. According to medium.com, they state that an average of 90,000 hours are spent in the workplace of a person's lifetime. That's a significant amount of hours, and any dent that we could put into that would be impactful. Being able to have an extra day off would allow an employee to run errands, do their hobbies more often, or other activities or tasks that may not have been available with the regular work week. Some of these tasks are only available 9 to 5, like going to the DMV or to the mechanic Monday through Friday. And having one of those days off would allow the employee to complete those tasks. From June to December 2022, a study was made in the UK, and according to Forbes.com, it was one of the largest 4-day work week trials to date. After the trial ended, the workers were surveyed, and 39% stated that they felt less overall stress, and 79% that felt that they were less burnt out overall. According to PubMed Central, they state that work-related stress can lead to psychological stress, physical stress, as well as could potentially cause mental illness. A shortened work week may also prevent this from happening. Now that I've gone over some of the benefits of a shortened work week, I want to give some examples of some companies that have already started. So there's no overall policy for these companies, but they started to implement the 4-day work week in their own way. One of the first ways was the pandemic. The pandemic allowed companies to shorten the work week and give employees more time off, and didn't really impact the efficiency of the workplace at all. So the companies that have started to implement the 4-day work week include Amazon, Forbes Advisor, and Microsoft, according to technonews.com. So some of these companies like Amazon have 1/3 of their listings to state a 4-day work week is offered. Other companies only do 1 4-day work week a month, and other companies only have a 4-day work week currently overseas in Japan, but it shows that a 4-day work week could be viable in the United States. Speaking of viability, I want to go over how feasible a 4-day work week would be in the United States. So while the concept has grown in support a lot over the last few years, I want to go over how realistic it actually is. So like I said, there's been many implementations of the 4-day work week, but the problem is that there is no widespread mandate that is required. And I also stated how some companies have already started to implement their 4-day work week schedules, but other companies are also able to, but just refuse to do so. So there's also going to be new trials that are going to come to fruition in the next few years, and these trials will help offer more information that'll better help find a way to implement the 4-day work week. So now I want to go over the main arguments of the opposing side, and that would be that the 4-day work week isn't a realistic concept. So as I stated before, there's no widespread mandate, so it's difficult to try to work for that, but there is still a solution. So while it's simple but not ideal, you can work 4 days a week but 10 hours. Like I said, that would be the least ideal solution. Another solution would be a 1 4-day work week a month, like some companies that I stated earlier were doing. And then like I also said, trials will continue to be held, and we'll be able to have a better understanding of how we can work this into the US. So, despite the opposing side, I'm certain that I convinced you that a 4-day work week or a shortened work week will be very beneficial to the average employee. As humans, we're not meant to spend so much time in these workplaces being confined to one small room, 40 hours a week, plus commute, and we're not meant to spend this much time not being able to do what we love. As a society, we need to come together and fight against a work-centric society, and in order to benefit the lives of all of us.